Hey, my friend, welcome to the nervous system expansion and energy frequency forecast for May of 2024. So, May is kind of a month all about possibilities. And so, we're going to play with that energy of possibilities today and for this month. So, May is about the sun coming out, new life coming forward, unabashed enthusiasm. Have you ever seen like a baby cow kind of like hop around and play around in the field? It's that kind of sense of new beginnings, the sky's the limit, playfulness, um, and maybe even some joy in there. So, May was named after the Greek goddess Maya, who is the goddess of the fields and harvest. And it's also connected to the Roman goddess of fertility, who had her festival in May. So, today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you first, we're going to work with the nervous system and how to essentially regulate, liberate, and expand the nervous system to be in this energy of expansion, in this energy of, well, the word for this month is wholehearted. So, in the energy of wholeheartedness. And I'm going to help you embody that in your life. Then we're going to do an energy forecast, which is going to include a color to work with that is related to that wholeheartedness, that playfulness, that joy of possibility. And I'm going to give you 3 different stones to work with, or crystals to work with this month, to essentially stay grounded, open, and inspired as you move into the sense of birthing yourself whole and living fully, living wholeheartedly. And then at the end of this forecast, I'm going to take you through an actual practice to help you embody the spirit of May, the spirit of birthing yourself new, of living wholeheartedly, of being fully immersed in your life. Before I do that, I'm going to introduce myself in case you are new to me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ilsa. Hi, welcome. I'm an absolute and total spiritual nerd. I'm a bookworm. I'm a dog mama. I love to dance. Professionally, for the last 20 years or so, I've worked as a psychotherapist, an expansion expert, and a strategist for entrepreneurs and leaders. I teach my clients essentially how to rewire their nervous system, their lives, their bodies, their businesses for easeful growth and results, for deeply nourishing, peaceful, and joyful profits and wealth in their life without all that second guessing, without all that stressing, that sabotaging that can occur when we are a high achiever. And we know that we're here to create a big impact in the world. At the end of this forecast, I will actually give you an opportunity to work with me one-on-one in my Wired for Wealth intensive, or even in my programs if you feel called to help you unlock your nervous system and your wealth. So you can stay tuned at the end for that. Okay, so let's get started with this forecast. So everywhere in the Western Hemisphere, the flowers are coming out, the trees are finally filled with leaves, or they're about to be, depending on where you live. By the end of this month, there's going to be birds hatching everywhere, baby animals all over the place will be born, from chipmunks all the way to bisons and elks. And that energy of winter, of hibernation, that was still like a little bit there in April, is really truly in the past. So, as I stated, when I really tuned into the energy of May in my body, what I sensed was this gentle warmth, like the sun is kind of coming back and shining upon us. And as I'm sensing more into that, and I played with that over the weekend, it really was this energy, this movement of a full-hearted yes. Again, like that baby cow who is so excited to be alive and to experience life. So your power word for this month in terms of nervous system expansion is wholehearted, to live wholeheartedly. So when I sense in my body and in my nervous system about what May is literally bringing us to and asking from us, what I'm receiving is that sense of sweetness, of warmth, and of wholehearted welcoming. This is an energy of being really open, really present, and trusting yourself and trusting life. And essentially, this trust kind of makes you able to show up for yourself, show up for your life completely and fully. And that's where the wholeheartedness comes in. So rather than actually going into what living wholeheartedly means, I'm actually going to turn this into an inquiry because everyone has a sense of that in their body that's a little different. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to ask you a few questions and I'm going to invite you to actually feel the answer to those questions in your body so that you can have a real embodied, felt sense of what that word means for you. Not for me, not for anybody else, but for you. So you can even, if you're not driving, you could even close your eyes and allow the question to kind of drop in your body and see what happens in your body. So question number one, what does wholehearted living, when you drop the sense of living wholeheartedly, what sensation, what emotion does it evoke in your body? Just allow yourself to feel it. Wholehearted is more of a feeling, a way of being, than it is of something your mind can get. And when we're talking about nervous system expansion, we're really stepping out of the mind and dropping into the experience of it in your body. So, what does wholehearted living feel like to you? What are the sensations, the emotion that living wholeheartedly evokes for you? Question number two, how would you show up differently in your life as a parent, as a partner, if you embody that quality? How would you show up in your personal life differently if you embodied wholeheartedness? Again, like allow your body to show you images, allow your body to give you a sense of the emotions. Maybe there's who would you forgive? What would you let go? What would you focus on? What would you want to share with the people in your life? How would you show up differently in your work and in your business if you came forward from that energy of wholeheartedness? Maybe even in your marketing, in your sales, in how you delivered with your client, if you really moved in your work and in your business from wholeheartedness with your colleagues. Wholeheartedness is almost like an inquiry into possibility. To live wholehearted is to show you what kind of life would be possible for you if you showed up from that quality. And finally, the last question is, if you really embodied and lived from wholeheartedness, how would you show up differently for yourself, for your body? How would you treat yourself? What would you forgive and allow yourself, give yourself permission to be, to want? What would you release? So you're getting a sense right now of what it would be like in your own body to live in all these different areas of your life, your personal, your business, and even inside you, your own inner landscape of what it would be like to live and to be from wholeheartedness. And when you imagine coming to life and living from that yes, from that possibility, from that allowance, that welcoming, that sense, what shows up in your nervous system? What happens to all those scared parts inside you when you feel like all of you and all of your life is welcome? What would need to happen in your nervous system for you to feel safe enough to live from yes, to be wholehearted, to show up without armoring? Let me repeat that. What does your nervous system, what do all these scared parts of you need to feel safe enough to show up in your life from yes, to be wholehearted, armoring? And again, this isn't an answer that your mind, your brain can give you. It's an answer that your body will give you. And it could show up as images, but it might share with you how you need to treat yourself, what you need to forgive and release, what belief system are holding you back. Your body literally speaks to you about what it needs to feel safe enough to move through life from yes, to drop the armoring. So that's what the energy of May is inviting you to notice. The energy of May is inviting you to notice what it is that you need to feel safe enough to live your life from yes. And part of how we do that in everyday life is to notice, to start to become aware and notice when you're moving and living from constriction, from tightness, from a no, from armoring, from your nervous system being in contraction. And when that happened, to slow down, to pause, to come back to being present in your life, to breathe in this moment, to breathe into the no, and to find what is it that your body needs to feel safe, to once again say yes. And to essentially be here with yourself, holding yourself, breathing into the no, to lovingly hold it until you start to feel your heart, your body soften and open once again. So over and over in this month, this is my invitation to you, is to come back to this softening, to this welcoming, to finding enough safety within yourself that you can come back to openness, to wholeheartedness, just the way you would kind of relax and lean back and open if you're receiving the first rays of the sun at sunset. It's a cool morning. It feels beautiful to receive that warmth. There's no. There's no resistance. There's no avoidance. There's just an opening, a leaning back, and a welcoming. There is wholeheartedness. So the message here from your nervous system for this month is that your nervous system essentially wants to come out of contraction. It wants to start really moving into regulation and the beginning of expansion. Your nervous system wants to feel nourished by your life. And you can't feel nourished or satisfied when your nervous system is contracted and you're moving and living from this kind of resistance, from this armoring, from this no. So the first step here, the first invitation is to come back to being present, to be aware of whether you're operating from no or from yes, to drop any kind of internal war you're having within you or with your world, and to start to come back to that softening, that sweetness of saying yes to being alive, saying yes to being here, saying yes to being you. There's this thing I like to tell my clients is you can't create the future you want by being at war with what is. You can't create the future you want by being at war with the present, whether it's how you are yourself in the present or how the world, how your life is showing up in the present. And so this is the invitation from your nervous system, is to really drop that sense of war, that sense of no, and to start to fall back in love with being who you are as you are, and with being here in your life and alive in this moment. So you want to find what lights you up. You want to focus on what you love. You want to find beautiful things that nourish you. And every time you notice that you're in contraction, you want to meet yourself. You want to slow down. You want to let your body know, hey, I'm here for you. You're safe right now. And then you want to focus again on what in this moment would allow you to say yes. So thinking or being with someone you love, it could be a pet, could be your garden, finding something that you love to do, could be reading a good book, going for a walk, gardening, or watching a movie that you love, finding things around you that are beautiful and focusing your eyes and noticing the beauty, taking in the beauty. All of those things are going to nourish you and they're going to soften that no. So that's the invitation for this month, to live wholeheartedly. But you can't live wholeheartedly if you're not aware of the no. So the first step is always to be aware and to stay conscious, to stay aware through your days of when you're living from no, when you're at war, either with yourself or with another or with your life, and to start to release that resistance, to start to come back to feeling safe, being you, being here, being alive, to start to come back to even beyond safety, being excited, being joyful, feeling the sweetness of being alive by focusing on the things that nourish you and are beautiful. And so over and over, you start to say yes. You start to feel grateful. You start to look around in wonder and awe. And that will start to recalibrate your nervous system for yes, for wholehearted living. Here's the thing you guys have to understand is your nervous system is wired to keep you safe. And in our ancestors, in our deep ancestry, right, when we were living in caves and such, all of our ancestors, all of the humans at that time who lived from yes, they got eaten, they died off. And so literally our nervous system, our brain is wired for safety reason, for survival reason, to kind of force us to live from no. And so now, and it served us well, right? Like we're still here as a species because of that. Most of our ancestors have lived from no. It's been passed down through generations as a way to stay safe, as a way to procreate, as a way to survive. But it really isn't serving us. We look at the world and we see what living from no has created. We sense inside ourselves the anxiety, the loneliness, the disappointment, the always feeling like we're not good enough. and we see what living from no is creating internally, even in the biochemistry of our body. And so now it's an invitation to start to rewire our experience from the inside out and to start to recode the programming in our brains and in our nervous system to start to feel safe with living from yes. So this is our nervous system forecast part. Now let's move to the energetic aspect. When I sense into the energy of May at the beginning of this month, and into the word wholehearted, the color that came to me was a light peach. The color that came to me actually was the way the sky looks, yellow with pink washed in it. When I did some research on that color, because usually that's what I do, I focus on the nervous system first. What's the word? What's the nervous system of the collective wanting for us as humans? Then when I have that, then I focus on what's the color and the energy of that word. And then I do some research, because oftentimes here and there I might know what a color means, but I don't always. And so then I'll do some research both onto the metaphysics of that color, the energy medicine, the energy psychology of that color, and also the stones that kind of are aligned with that color and that word. And when I was looking at the psychology and the energy medicine and the metaphysics behind that yellow, pink, peach color, all over the board, it represents comfort, friendliness, joy, delight, and a sense of being supported and belonging. In Chinese civilization, it also has an extra symbolism, and it actually symbolizes immortality from the peach tree, which is a symbol for immortality and never-ending youth. And again, that sense of joy, that sense of delight, of playfulness, of looking at the world through a yes, is a way of staying young and sucking everything you can out of life. Hence the longevity, the immortality. Now, here's the thing I will say with you, and I say that in each of my monthly forecast. If this color doesn't resonate with you, then I invite you to feel into what living from yes, what being wholehearted feels like to you. When I was asking you these questions earlier, what would wholehearted living feel like? What are the emotion? What are the sensation in your body? Same thing, like if you sense into that right now, of living from yes, of being fully immersed in your life, of feeling so deeply safe, so deeply like you belong to yourself and to your life, that you just live from yes, from joy, from delight, feeling nourished. What's the first color that comes to you? So you can use my color of that light yellow, pink, peach, or you can use your own color to represent this month. I believe strongly that your body knows what you need, and each color has its own energy, and you might need something slightly different. So that's the energy forecast in terms of the color and what the color represents. Now I'm going to take you through the stones and the crystals for this month. So I came up with 3 different stones for this month. The first one is amber. And amber is technically not a stone or a crystal, it's a resin. But it's been represented as the sweetness of life, as honey, as the gift from the sun by many different civilizations across time. It represents, to go with that Chinese thing, it represents immortality. It is formed literally by life and light coming together and being preserved over time. It's been called heart and honey, the tears of the god, sunlight solidified. And one of the things it's known for is that it will actually immortalize life within it, because usually you will often find pieces of ambers with bugs in them, or because of the way it's formed, it will literally keep things exactly as they were and mold itself around them, and then they're in there forever. It's extremely powerful. It's in a lot of different civilization. It's a talisman for beauty, for protection, for renewal, and being in life completely. So as I said, it's not a crystal, it's not a stone or a mineral. It's a byproduct of nature. It's a protective resin that's solidified and fossilized over millions of years, hence the immortality piece of it. From a metaphysical perspective and energetic perspective, it's known to be able to trap negative energy or any kind of dissonance in the body and to transmute it into life force, into energy, into vitality, into positive energy. So it's actually a pretty powerful stone. I guess it's not a stone, it's a pretty powerful tool to use when you're trying to live from yes, because it will trap all your no's and it will transmute them into a yes. Amber holds a strong connection between earth and sun. Essentially, it's a resin, so it comes from the earth, from the trees, but it's made hard and solidified by the sun, by the heat of the sun. It has been known as the juice of life, and it's also extremely helpful for a long time. It was used in ancient civilization to deal with grief, to deal with depression, loneliness, because it represented preserving life so well. So it's an amazing stone for protection. It's an amazing stone to help you shift out of no into yes, and to increase your vitality, and your own warmth and your own desire for living fully. So that's the first stone. It's an incredibly uplifting tool, and it has that fiery energy of the sun with the grounding energy of the earth. It's really great for releasing negative moods, anxiety, deflecting negative energy, even that you're receiving from other people, and helping transmute all of that muck into a positive, uplifting, sweet current of yes to life. So that's the first stone I have for you. The next stone I have for you is Morganite. So, by the way, I wrote those in the description of this video if you want to know how to spell them. But here's Morganite. And so what's interesting about Morganite, this one is more opaque. It's like a light pink, big stone. You will also find it, like if it's been rubbed, you will also find it as a crystal that has more of a champagne color. So it can either kind of be opaque like that, and that's usually when it hasn't been worked with a whole lot, or you can find it as a very shiny crystal that is kind of a light pink champagne color. And so that's why I'm using it, partially because it's the perfect kind of color. It has that peach pink color that embodies the first soft rays of sunlight. The energy of Morganite is a sense that all is right and new. A new beginning, all is going to work well. When I did some research in it, it is a stone that is used to warm the heart. It's connected to your heart chakra. It helps release any sense of not belonging or not feeling supported by life and build trust. It helps shift any sense of contraction and feeling small and unimportant in this vast universe to feeling deeply loved and deeply important to the process of life. Um, it's been called the crystal of divine love, and it's supposed to bring healing, compassion, assurance, and promise that all is well and is going to go well. So it almost is a stone of optimism, which for those of us who have been wired to live from no, to always look around every corner for what kind of shit's going to hit the wall and come at us, it's actually a stone that reminds our heart that it's safe to trust in what's coming. It's safe to be optimistic and excited about what's coming. It's safe to feel nourished by our life and to trust that results, even if our life doesn't feel good right now, good things are coming. So Morganite has a very sweet and nourishing energy. It's, from my research, is said to cleanse emotional and physical and stress, and to release old wounds and traumas, and to find the lightness, to find the wisdom, to find the sweetness in all the burdens that have kind of kept us heavy and small. So it's a stone of lightness or crystal of lightness. It allows us to find the lightheartedness of life, which when you're trying to shift from living from no to living from this yes is really helpful. So it's a great stone to use if you want to infuse yourself with trust, with joy, with a sense of inner strength, so that you have the capacity to move forward with a sense of certainty, peace, confidence, a sense that you're being guided and supported in your entire journey. And then the last stone I have for you is one of my, actually, it might be my favorite stone, and that's citrine. So citrine, it comes in different colors, and I probably will use it again at a later point, but it's literally moves from dark orange to that yellow. And this is kind of my favorite color. It has almost little hints of slight pink. They call it lemon citrine, and that's the one I'm using for this month. It has that sunny, uplifting energy. So, citrine is a stone of growth and inspiration. It is related to the power of the sun. It actually is a stone that is well known for being extremely comforting, energizing, warm, like warmth giving, life giving. It helps also clear the mind of confusion and the heart of any kind of resistance and fear. And it stirs the soul into action. So what's powerful with citrine here is that it kind of works on all levels of our being. It helps reduce limited thinking and confusion from your mind. It helps open the heart and remove resistance from the heart. And then it also helps us get into action, feel inspired, and start moving. Citrine encourages the fullness of life, fresh beginnings, new pursuit, and the excitement that comes from those new pursuits. So it's not just in our head or even in our heart, it's actually in the action of living, which is kind of where we want to go with this energy of wholeheartedness. We want to feel like a yes, but then we want to live this yes. We want to be in the movement of this yes. Citrine helps us ground. It helps us transmute and dissolve negative energy so that we can show up fully and be in this field of infinite possibility with curiosity, with playfulness. And it's actually one of the most powerful stones or crystals to transform negative thoughts and negative feelings into positive ones. It literally is an alchemizing stone. Like alchemy was the process of shifting lead into gold. It literally transformed what is heavy and negative into lightness and brightness. It's one of two crystals on Earth, only two out of all the crystals and stones in it. It's one of two that actually never has to be cleared or cleansed because literally negative energy can't attach to it. Anytime a negative energy is attached to it, it's transmuted back into light. So it is one of my personal favorite. I work with it all the time. I actually can't really see it because they're little, but I have citrine on my ears today and a tiny one in my pendant, the bottom one. This is garnet. This is the citrine. So this is our forecast. Wholeheartedness, the color of that yes, the shifting from no to yes internally, and then in the movement of how we live our lives, and finally working with these three stones in whatever ways feel most aligned for you, either amber or morganite or citrine. And now I'm going to take you through the practice for this month. So you want to be in a place where you can do this. If you can't do it right now, come back to it. Obviously, you don't want to be driving. You don't want to be at work. You want to be in a place where you can close your eyes and relax and enjoy this and go into it. So for this month, for this practice, I'm going to use the symbol, the energy, the warmth of sunlight, as well as we're going to work on the heart meridian from Chinese medicine and the heart point, which is actually in your pinky. So we're going to start with rubbing the chest and rubbing the heart center. And then at some point, I'm going to take you at the end of this practice, I'm going to invite you to do something with your pinky. And this is going to be a way to help you come back to this place of sweetness, of openness, of receptivity, and also help you release whatever has been a burden in your heart and has kept your heart in resistance, has kept your heart from living and being in the energy of yes. So I'm going to actually show you what I'm going to ask you to do now so that when you're in the practice, you can keep your eyes closed if you want to, and you don't have to be confused about what I'm saying. So at some point in this practice, after we're working with the energy of the sun, I'm going to invite you to grab your pinky in your palm. And you can start, honestly, it doesn't matter which side you start, you're going to do both sides. I like to start with my left hand, the left pinky, and the right, probably because the heart is on the left side. So I feel like that makes sense to start that way. And what you're going to do is you're going to literally kind of hold your pinky like that in your hands for a few breaths, like maybe 2 to 3 breaths. And at the end, you're going to do a releasing breath. And the releasing breath is going to look like this. You're going to kind of almost like push on your pinky as you breathe out. And it's going to look like this. Now let me bring my finger a little closer. My pinkies are really small too. But like you're going to kind of squeeze, you're not squeezing hard. You're like almost like a massage. You're massaging your pinky on your out breath. And at the end of the pinky, you blow forcefully. So it looks like this. And you're going to do that once or twice, maybe 3 times. And then we're going to switch. And you're going to hold the other side, the other pinky, and you're just going to breathe a few times. And you're gently squeezing. Like you're telling this pinky, I've got you, sweetheart. You're not alone. I'm holding you. And so you're going to breathe 2, 3 breaths, releasing. You can breathe out through your nose or through your mouth, whatever feels better. And then again at the end, I'm going to invite you to do your releasing breath, and you're going to squeeze out and release. So here's the thing I want you to know. You can't fuck this up. You can squeeze like this. You can squeeze like that. It's more an energetic, like you're literally releasing what's being held in your heart And you're doing it both with the movement and the breath. All right. So now that you know what I'm going to ask you, come back to yourself. And let's start with just relaxing, putting your hand on your chest, either both hand or one hand. You even can start with doing a few circles if that feels good. And just starting to breathe. Keeping your hand on your heart and allowing your breath to be the bridge back home to yourself. With every breath, starting to feel your body relax, your heart open, and you realize that right now you're safe, you're protected, you're guided. I've got you. And so every breath allows your mind to quiet and your awareness to drop out of your head into your heart. Like you're dropping out of your head into your heart, and every breath is activating the sweetness, the wisdom of your heart. And so breathing in, you can even say yes. And breathing out, release. Letting each in-breath expand you, open you. And every out-breath, release the tension. Release the resistance. Breathing in, yes. And breathing out, release. Soften. Right now, you can let go of your past and your future. Right in this moment, there is nothing broken, nothing to fix or figure out, and there's nothing to do but come home to you. And so allow yourself to become more and more open to the wisdom that lives deep inside you. And so now, as you're sitting here fully connected to your own heart, I invite you to imagine that you're outside. It's a cool morning, not cold, just cool, and you're welcoming the first rays of the sun on a brand new day. You can feel this sense of possibility, and you start to feel the warmth of the sun on your face. And you might even notice that your head inclines up slightly, like you're looking up towards the sun, opening yourself, welcoming the warmth. And you're receiving the sweet, warming rays of this morning sun. You can even see the light behind your eyelids. You can feel the warmth on your face. And you feel supported, held, kissed by this light, by the warmth. And so as you're here, welcoming the sun, feeling the warmth kissing your skin, let the rays embrace you, surround you, and slowly start to seep into you. A warm, nourishing feeling and a color of that yellow, pink, peach. Or if you received another color when I asked you what color is represented by wholeheartedness, feel free to let the sun rays be whatever color your body needed. And so here you are, you're breathing in this light. It's seeping into every pore of your body. It's starting to permeate you not only is it all around you, embracing you, but now it's starting to fill you. It's like you're bathing in it, floating in it, but you're also filled with it. And so feel this warm light of the sun fill your heart with healing. See the color. Maybe it's that light yellow, pink, peach. Maybe it's another color. And see it activate your heart, fill your heart with healing, with sweetness, with support, with a sense of belonging and possibility. Feel this light move through you. It's flowing in your blood. It's infusing every cell and organ in your body. It's healing and repairing any and every emotional wound. It's nourishing any part of you that ever says no to life. It's repairing and nourishing any part of you that feels small, afraid, and not enough. And so allow this light to fill you, to restore you, to heal all that fear, all that resistance, all that heaviness. And feel all that heaviness, all that burden start to become light, start to soften, start to open and lift away. Like literally the warm, beautiful rays of the sun are melting anything in you that feels frozen, traumatized, armored, heavy. And so you're seeing that color. Maybe it's the light yellow with pink. Maybe it's a different color. And it's working through all of you. It's nourishing and clearing and cleansing. It's holding everything in you that has ever felt disappointed, ever felt rejected, ever felt like you were not good enough and it wasn't safe to say yes to life. All your inner no's are starting to turn into peace, into trust, and even into joy. And you start to feel your body open, your body relax, your body start to trust that it is safe to be you, it is safe to be fully alive, and it is safe to live your life wholeheartedly. And so now we're going to move to the pinky part as the light of wholeheartedness continues to move and flow through you and around you, repairing, cleansing, restoring, nourishing. I invite you to take your left pinky in your right palm and to just squeeze gently. Give it a few loving squeeze. And take a couple deep healing breaths. And then you're going to start to rub and squeeze out your pinky with every out breath and doing, at the end, a powerful blow. And then when that feels complete, switch hands. You're releasing any stagnant energy from your heart meridian, any heaviness. And so let's switch hand, moving your right pinky in your left palm, taking a few deep breaths as you gently squeeze your pinky, letting your heart know, I've got you. We're going to get through this together. It is safe to be alive. It is safe to love our life. And then one last time, squeezing on your out breath. Releasing any leftover stagnation from the heart meridian. And then you can come back and just bring both your hands back into your heart. Feeling the last remnant of this sunny, delightful, warm sunlight, the light of wholeheartedness flowing through you, holding you, moving through your whole body. And taking a few last breaths here, breathing in, saying yes, breathing out, saying thank you. Breathing in, saying yes, and breathing out, saying thank you. Truly anchoring this yes, this aliveness, this openness, this desire to move through your life wholeheartedly into your heart. And sense how your body is. Feel like your body is like a flower, blooming, opening fully to the sun. And then give a last yes and thank you. And then drop your hands into your lap. Start to drop the visualization of the sun and just feel your body, knowing that this light lives within you, that you have been thoroughly cleansed, restored, repaired, nourished back into wholeness, into lightheartedness, into joy and possibility. And then slowly you can start to blink your eyes open. Feel your feet, feel your body on the chair or on the ground or on the bed. Maybe even look around, find something in your environment that feels nourishing, that is beautiful. And then just sense this yes that's still here in your heart. And then come back to this yes over and over and over. And by the way, this little practice of holding your pinky whenever you feel stress and taking a few deep breaths and then just squeezing out the tension and then doing it again with the other hand. Something really easy you can do in literally 30 seconds whenever you feel tight to kind of come back into a wholehearted yes. If you found today's forecast and this practice expansive, helpful, please share it. Tag a friend, send the link to somebody. Let them have the sense of living and moving from yes, from wholeheartedness. And if you're ready to go deeper into this journey of expanding out of that contraction and repairing and reprogramming, essentially recoding your nervous system so that you can achieve, grow, receive more from a place of peace, from a place of ease, from a place of enjoyment, then I would love to take this work deeper and work with you. And there's essentially two ways you can start working with me. If you know that you're ready to jump in, that I'm the person for you, that this is the work you need, that you've been holding yourself back from more, the more you know is possible for you, and you're ready to invest in doing some deep work, then we can hop on a 20-minute call. All my work essentially includes one-on-one and is designed to help you unlock your next level. So the aim of that 20-minute call is to essentially figure out which of my program is right for you and answer any question you have. Just so you know, as I said, everything I do has deep dive one-on-one work. And the price range between $1,200 for essentially like a 4-hour deep dive with me, like VIP intensive, all the way to $10,000 for my highest level program over a year of working together. So that if you know you want to work with me, you're ready to get started, you can click the enrollment link in your description and book that 20-minute call, and let's chat. Let's figure out exactly what it is that you need and answer your question, and then let's get started. If you want to experience this work, you want to experience working with me before you dive into the deep end, then we can do a 90-minute intensive together. I offer usually 2 to 4 of those a month. I have 3 available in May. I believe I already have 1 that's gone. Somebody just booked it earlier today. Or was it yesterday? Yesterday or today. And during this 90 minutes, essentially, we're going to discover what are your unique nervous system wounds and blocks that are limiting you, limiting your growth, limiting your leadership, limiting your receivership. And then I'm going to teach you my proprietary process so you can come out of that contraction into regulation, into liberation, into expansion, into that yes. So it's 55% off for people who are new to me, 90 minutes, sometimes a little more, and it's $175. The work I do at all levels is essentially a life-changing expansion experience. And it's here to help you become the most loving, peaceful, and powerful force in your own life and in your own business. My aim is to give you a clear roadmap so that you can get out of your own way and you can actualize your potential and create a life you're going to love long term, or a life and a business that you're going to live fully, wholeheartedly, and you're going to love long term. And I would love to help you be your guide on that. All right, I hope you have a wonderful, amazing month of May. I will see you soon in the next video, training, live, whatever.